Chase Lehocky here with the Blue Futon going over the August box office predictions. Chase Lehocky here with the Blue Futon going over the August Oscar predictions. This is not going to have a lot of changes from July, so just forewarn, it'll be more of like placements. There'll be some new spots, but nothing over the top zany. I think the biggest thing that will occur, and if it does occur, is the strike, writer strike, actor strike, that if it continues, will these studios push movies to the right into 2024? I know there have been already some moves, especially the Coen Brother movie, which I thought could have been a screenplay, not no more. There's other things like that that can move out. And people are saying, oh, what are you going to do a link for the strike people? No, I'm sorry. I know people are like, oh, blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. I don't believe in union. I'm not a union person. So there's that. And then there's a difference between a strike and a lockout. This is not a lockout. This is a strike. The actors did it themselves. A lockout is when, like, WB says, no, stop, we're doing this. But no, this is the actors agreeing to do something. And then I look at the medical bills of like $26K a year as someone who is basically has done medical stuff in the past. The reason why it's so expensive because it's California, it's not the unions. So it's probably something they need to talk to the state about to get that union cost down for the healthcare, because $26K a year is ridiculous. But they're like, why is it so expensive in California? It's cheaper other places. It's all about the immigration laws, who's allowed free healthcare, and who's got to pay the bill. It's kind of like your insurance for your car. Is if you look on your insurance, you have basically a non-insurance fee that you got to pay for. If someone hits you that doesn't have insurance, you got to help them pay their insurance. It's just insurance itself is an overall shenanigans bullshittery. So that's why I'm just like, and then when you have rich actors like, I got to sell my house now. Well, then don't live in California where taxes are that goddamn high and housing property is that goddamn high. Move to, a lot of people move to Texas. I don't see a lot of the actors that have houses in Texas complaining, or Nevada, Las Vegas, or Arizona, or Colorado. So my sympathy levels goes. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Oscars. So there's my little rant of the day. So when looking at Best Picture, let's see what Gold Derby has. They have Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Barbie, Color Purple, Dune, The Holdovers, Zone of Interest, Maestro, and Spider-Man. So, yeah, my big things that I have noticed is Zone of Interest is dropped and Barbie has moved up. I could say I did one of those things. So, you know what? Let's show you my list, and that means I gotta switch over to my phone. I got two things. All right. My number one, I have moved up, and it is now Killers of the Flower Moon. I did have Zone of Interest at number one. That has dropped 8 spots for me. So now, for me, it goes Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer moved up 1, The Holdovers moved up 4, Anatomy of the Fall moved up 5 spots. Poor Things stayed the same. The Killer stayed the same. Dune Part 3 has dropped 3 spots. And like I said, Zone of Interest has dropped 8. The Iron Claw moved up 1. And then the Color Purple moved down 2. So as you can see, the top 10 has stayed the top 10 since last month. But I have made some changes. Like I said, to me, the biggest changes are the Zone of Interest, the Color Purple to me, Dune, Anatomy of the Fall. And that's why I'm saying that is because with looking at these TIFF festivals and New York Film Festivals with FYI, I will not be going because I work in fiscal year money, and that ends September 30th. I can't take leave to go to New York or Toronto to watch movies. This is physically impossible with the job I have right now. So with Holdovers, moved up because it's going to be opening night and they're saying it's going to be a crowd pleaser. So that's why I did it. Nightmare in the Fall, there's always a foreign movie. This one's like 50-50 French and English, if I'm not mistaken. So that's why I think that's going to squeeze in. Zone of Interest, like I said, might be too weird, but I still have a positive feeling about that. And Color Purple, rewatching the trailer, the only reason it has something going for it is because it's based off a book and a play and Oprah's involved. That's it. All right. So when looking down, you might now notice I have 2 movies that are not even in my top 20. And they are Past Lives and Barbie. Okay, guys, I just Barbie, I did put in 20, calling it Barfy. I just don't see how a movie where Margot Robbie is running around cubicles, diving into vehicles, playing Snake with dumb men, just like, oh, we gotta run this way. Oh, we gotta run this way. I just don't see how this is a Best Picture movie. Yes, but people are like, but it's made $1 billion. There's 53 movies that have made $1 billion. How many of those have actually made Best Picture because it made $1 billion? Be like, well, it's actually a good movie. You'll be surprised when some people are probably gonna go like, yeah, it's a fine movie, it's mid, that are actually Oscar voters. Could I be wrong? Absolutely. But just with my gut, I cannot put Barbie in my top 10. I'm putting it at 20.5 just because I would be an idiot if I'm not. But a lot of people might call me an idiot for not having Past Lives. I'm sorry. I think the Past Lives train is gone. It is officially out the station. It is now out of New York, back to Korea, where the lover is now in Korea. Am I wrong? I could be wrong, but just thinking about what is happening, what A24 is now trying to push, Priscilla, Iron Claw, and everything like that, I think Past Lives kind of died. I could be wrong, but let's talk about my other ones. I still have Perfect Day at number 11. I have May December at 12, which I think might drop sooner than later. Saltburn did move up 5 spots. Lee is still in there. Ferrari's still in there. The Bike Rider's still in there. Maestro's in there. Napoleon is now in there. That's a new one. And Bob Marley's One Love, as well as Priscilla. So like I said, the main one I did take out is Napoleon for Past Lives was my main in and out for picture. What do you think? Am I crazy? Now let's go to director of what Gold Derby is saying. According to Gold Derby, it hasn't moved. Scorsese, Nolan. Song, Glazer, and Denis Villeneuve. Greta has moved up pretty substantially. However, for me, I did make one small change in my top 5 is switch Justine Tried and Jonathan Glazer from 5 to 3, 3 to 5. I think she has a higher chance of getting that director spot, but there's that. Also, my bottom 10, or my bottom 5, sorry, nothing else has changed except moving Alex Payne and Todd Haynes 3 and 3 as well from 6 to the 9. People are saying Greta Gerwig, but I mean, is this more of a director movie? And people are like, oh, but it's the first film single to be a billion. Is that really something to make a Oscar nomination for because it's a property? That's why I'm just like, I'm iffy about her getting it. To me, it's more of a production design movie, costume, makeup, etc. That's why that is going to occur. I just don't see Past Lives. I just don't know how Past Lives is in that top 5 for director. I would understand if it was more Greta Gerwig at number 3 in Gold Derby and Song number 5, but that's not that way on Gold Derby. I just don't see the Past Lives train. I really see the Barbie train over the Past Lives train. And speak about Barbie, I think it's freaking hysterical. Everyone on Facebook is like dogging on like Ben Shapiro and only Ben Shapiro. Act like Ben Shapiro's the only one that didn't like the movie. And there's one post where I saw where a leftist literally stopped the comments saying like, get woke, go broke. Oh, wait, Barbie made $1 billion. So what you're saying is Barbie is a woke film. Okay. And you're rooting for big corporations. Okay. But then you have one movie. What other woke movies have absolutely bombed? Okay, you got to have at least one win. But you're the ones that said it was woke, not me. All right. Let's continue on to actresses. Did I make any changes here? Actually, I did. Another bonkers one. Out of my top 10, you do not see Greta Lee from Past Lives. I'm done with the Past Lives train. I'm sorry, but I'm still sucker for the Poor Things train, and that's why Emma Stone is still number 1. She's number 1 still, will still be my number 1 until the end of time. All right. Then number 2, 3 have stayed the same. Fantasia and Natalie Portman. Number 4, I moved up for Sandra Hüller. Number 5, I put Annette Bening now in my number 1 spot. Just because I think that movie from the director who did Free Solo and The Rescue is now kind of doing a live action one from Swimming to Cuba to Florida. I feel like there's something in that movie that is going to spark a flame. But I could be completely wrong. Who is new, you might be asking, because I took Greta Lee out. I had to put Margot Robbie in. Okay, even though I didn't like the movie, she does have some good scenes about her just like sitting on the bench with the older lady, the costume designer who's won multiple Oscars, saying you're beautiful. She's like, I know. Margot Robbie does have some good crying moments, and she does have some good comedic chops in this one. However, you'll get Babylon. I think she's way better in Babylon, and she didn't get nominated there. Maybe because that was more of a polarizing movie with the critics. But I do think Barbie can be polarizing for some. And how many Oscar voters are really going to vote for Barbie in actor categories? And that is something we need to look for supporting actor as well, but I'm not there yet. So, but I do have to put Margot Robbie. I would rather have Barbie be a director movie, an actor, and a supporting actor movie, and a production designer movie rather than a best picture movie. That's just my personal opinion. To me, the screenplay is also one of the weakest parts. It's literally the same words on every other page of the freaking script. Anyway, the bottom have really stayed the same. Jessica Lange, Kate Winslet, Carey Mulligan, and Colony Spaney. Of course, if you don't know, it's Priscilla, it's Maestro, it's Lee. It's that Jessica Lange Broadway type of movie that apparently she's going to be yelling and crying a lot. So who the heck knows? Supporting actress. According to Gold Derby, it is Lily Gladstone, Taraji P. Henson, Danielle Brooks, Emily Blunt. That's a new one in the mix. And now Julianne Moore. I do not have Emily Blunt in my top. All right. So I find that interesting. And let's show you my top 5. And as you notice, if you look at the plus and minuses, I do not have Danielle Brooks anymore in the top 5. And I never had Emily Blunt in the top 5. So what did I do? I moved Lily Gladstone to number 1. I moved Taraji P. Henson up 2 spots. I moved Julianne Moore down 2 spots. I put Divine Joy Randolph up 4 spots. And I kept Tilda Swinton in my top 5. That is what I really think is going to happen. Okay, the Tilda is kind of the fun one for shits and gigs. But I'm just thinking about The Color Purple. Are they really going to nominate that many actors for that movie? And that's where I'm thinking not so much, but I could be completely wrong. That's why I just think I only had to put one person in there, and that's why I think Taraji P. Henson is a better choice, because I think the Oscars would prefer to have her in that rather than Danielle Brooks. However, looking at my bottom 5, there is a new person. Like I said, I took out... Who did I take out, though? Because I have someone new in there. It must have been someone that was not even in a movie anymore. Who did I take out? Maybe it was Saoirse Ronan, or... I don't remember. No, Carrie's still in there for Saltburn, for funness. Anyway, I don't know. Sorry. But I'm putting Penelope Cruz in there for Ferrari. She is also an Oscar darling, like Parallel Lines, and she will get in out of nowhere. So that's why I'm thinking Penelope Cruz. Penelope Cruz. That's why she's my number 6. Number 7, like I said, Carey Mulligan. Number 8, Danielle Brooks, still my top 10, but she moved down 4 spots. Number 9, Jodie Foster. You got Jodie Foster's a powerhouse. She really is. And number 10, I'm still putting Marge Desnar for About Dry Grass. All right, let's continue on to actor. And according to Gold Derby, actors Cillian Murphy, Leonardo DiCaprio, Bradley Cooper, Coleman Domingo, and Paul Giamatti. As you could tell, I don't have Bradley Cooper and I don't have Coleman Domingo. I don't have faith in Maestro. I truly don't. And then Rustin, if it's been going that many reshoots, faith is just not there. It truly isn't. So my top 5 is Cillian Murphy, Leonardo DiCaprio, Paul Giamatti, Michael Fassbender, and Bradley Cooper. Nothing changed in that top 5. Even looking at my number 6 is Bradley Cooper. Hasn't changed. My number 8, Zac Efron. Number 9, Adam Driver. Number 10, Koji Yakusuo. Still there. The one change, though, is number 7. I'm putting Joaquin Phoenix in there instead of Coleman Domingo. That's what I took out. And now I'm putting Joaquin Phoenix for Napoleon. No, sorry. Coleman Domingo, I have him still in supporting actor. I'm so sorry. I took out Kensley Bel-Air for One Love. I watched the trailer. Didn't do it for me. Joaquin Phoenix, I think, has a better chance. So that's why he is now new in this category. All right. The next one with probably my biggest changes overall, supporting actor. According to Gold Derby, we have Robert De Niro, Ryan Gosling, Robert Downey Jr., John Margot, and Coleman Domingo. As you can tell, I have the top 3. And what happened from last month, boom. I still have Robert De Niro at number 1. I still have Mark Ruffalo at number 2. Robert Downey Jr. is now my number 3. He is new. If you notice, what did he take the place of? He took a place of Matt Damon. I had Matt Damon last month. He's out. Robert De Niro is now in. Number 4, Ryan Gosling. For a feminist, man-hating movie, Ryan Gosling is the best part of a man-hating movie. Sure, why not? It is what it is. I think he does have a good chance. However, number 5 is still Louis Gossett Jr. There's always an old-timer in these categories. To me, that is the one for The Color Purple I'm really putting my money on. And you might be noticing, though, I do have a number new. Number 4 is still new, so who else was out? I took out John Margot. He is out of the picture. Past Lives, to me, is done. Getting him out of my top 10. I still have Charles Melton. William Dafoe dropped 4 spots. Brian Tyree Henry dropped 1 spot. Jeremy Allen White dropped 1 spot. And then Coleman Domingo is still in for number 10 for The Color Purple. It is what it is. That's what you get. So for the top 5 for adapted screenplay, it goes Killers, Oppenheimer, Barbie, Dune, Zone of Interest. As you can tell, I don't have Barbie in there because I think the Barbie is actually one of the weaker parts is the screenplay. It truly is. So my top 5, I have Poor Things instead. Nothing's really changed since last month, but I did have to suck up and put Barbie at number 10 for adapted screenplay. You might be asking what I took out. I took out Spider-Man Across the Universe. If I had to pick one, it's Barbie over Spider-Man for adapted screenplay. So when looking at original, I made some changes, and this is the only category where I'm keeping Past Lives. According to Gold Derby, Past Lives is still number 1. The Holdovers, Anatomy of a Fall, Saltburn, May, December. Saltburn is not in my top 5. Instead, my top 5 is Priscilla. I gotta put some dark horses. I'm sorry, did anyone see Top Gun Maverick making it in the screenplay? No. So that's why there's gotta be dark horses, right? And that's Priscilla for me. But I have a lot of changes when you look at this one. Anatomy of a Fall is number 1 for me. Holdovers went down. That's number 2 for me now. May, December went up 1. Priscilla went up 1. Past Lives went down 4. So now we have number 6 is Saltburn. Number 7, Maestro. Number 8, Iron Claw went up 1. Number 9, Air went up 1. And number 10 is a new spot, and it is Fair Play. That's my dark horse for that can slowly sneak in is Fair Play. I watched that at Sundance. It's a pretty good movie. It's a solid screenplay. I could see that one getting in for sure. And the one I took out, Drive Away Dolls, because the Coen Brothers movie is now coming out in February. That one is out in place of Fair Play. I'm not going to do, cinematography, production design, costumes, makeup, all the other ones until it actually comes out on Gold Derby, because I do this for fun. I'm not like crazy about it. I just do it, like I said. It's for shits and giggles, guys. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if things Futon told you. Futon, have a great day. I don't care. Watch this tape tomorrow, month from now, a week from now, a year from now. I love every single one of you. Like I said, what are my freaking craziest predictions? To me, my craziest, I won't lie, is the Barbie and Past Lives. I just can't do it. It's one of those things. Do I go for integrity or do I go for what's in the brain? And I think with a lot of people losing their brain power and also losing integrity, I'm going with integrity. I would rather have someone that has more integrity than be a little bit on the dumb side. That's just my opinion.